welcome back to the channel. So this occurred to me, this race happened with Novonix. I never saw that. I bought it in about here at $1. Did a 10x. I actually sold on the highest day. It was pure luck. Novonix as a company is making graphite that goes into the lithium ion battery. They said they were going to be like 50,000 tons per annum by now, making millions and millions, but that hasn't happened. They're still only just getting, they're not even at 3,000 tons yet. I remember when I did this video, they still went at 3,000 tons. Years later, they're still not there, but they are chipping away. Will it happen? We'll just have to wait and see, but it's a lot better buying now than it will be when some good news comes out. So, I bet if you go back to the old presentations, it said like they were doing 50,000 tons by now. That's not the case. So where are they now? They got this stuff. They're getting stuff and ready to do 3,000 tons per annum. They're going to ship it out to the people buying it. They're going to qualify it and see how good it is. So they have bought this plant and built it out a bit. They've built another bit of land as well. Bought some land, and they're going to build another big factory like this to make synthetic graphite, which is a byproduct of petroleum coke, which byproduct of petrol. They got these partners here, and if you didn't know, there is battery factories happening around USA. Go do your research on that. I did. There's some getting built, and they're gonna come into production, and Novonix will come through with their graphite, and could go very well. They could not. They could go very well. So Sing take a big bet. They could even halve from here and then go up. You don't know. So going back to here. Yes, they need a lot of graphite. They said this 5 years ago that they need a lot of graphite. Years later, we're still not there. So you'd have to go back, look at their old presentations. 3,000 tons per annum, that was meant to be years ago, but now they're just getting to that now. So they're going to do that. They got all this stuff. At least now they actually have the stuff in there. So we are getting closer. This is their new site, which will make 30,000 tons per year or something. And they say about $2,000 profit per ton. So times 2,000 by this per annum gives you maybe how much money they'll make. Take in mind they do have to spend $1 billion to build this out, maybe, but they are getting big loans from the government. So they got that Trump thing behind them. Trump wants jobs in America. Graphite's owned by China, so these guys actually can't compete with China, and probably won't. They'll need to get up and running and then get more efficient, because they can't compete with China. They just want a case for the tariffs on China, so they need the tariffs to compete with China. That's why they're not set up yet, because China's just doing it too cheap. They can't compete. Doesn't make sense to build this out. But now we got Trump, and the government's probably just going to throw money at it. You would hope, if you bought in and invested. So will it work at scale? Well, it's working in China at scale, so I think that's ticked off. But just remember, this stock had this thing that didn't work at scale, and they did nothing. Where Novonix was a rise up on hype, probably from the same guy on YouTube who used to talk about these two stocks. Anyway, it's came back down. The thing is the best thing happens. They get 3,000 tons, gets qualified, then they start building out, get the 30,000 tons per annum. That goes very well. They're making $2,000 profit per ton. And as soon as that happens, they're going to build up the next one. And if everything's going good, that price is going to go up, because there's going to be so much graphite needed. They'll be the number one player with a head start, and they'll get more efficient and efficient. So this could be like a CATL. But it could not be, and that might be. Just a lot of hope. You'll just have to wait and see. But definitely a lot better buying now than it was back here. So what else can I say? Oh, here we go. Small fish with knowledge grow in a huge market. Trump behind them, government loans. That's the pluses. Negatives, sodium ion will come out. I assume we still need lithium ion batteries, because sodium ion won't be as cheap for some time. So we've got LFP. I know Novonix was more an NMC company. Do they do LFP? I don't know. You would think so. China too cheap, so we've got tariffs to take that out. Capital raising can dilute the company, but they do have loans. And the price will probably go up. If they're getting it right, the price will just go up in hype, I assume. and doesn't work at scale, something happens like that, could be an issue there. So we'll just have to wait and see on Novonix. I was thinking about buying a big amount, but I might just go into an ETF upon a crash. I'm not really interested in losing money on stocks, so more of a wait for a crash kind of guy. Have fixed income or money elsewhere until there's a crash, then buy in. People think you just make money on stocks, but doesn't happen that easily. So you don't have to buy out. You don't have to buy until there's a crash, and then you might buy an ETF which spreads across all these companies. Some go good, some go bad, but they generally, as a whole, go up if you're buying a big section of blue chip companies. Is my opinion. Anyway, we'll see what happens with Novonix. A lot of people obviously got burnt. I'll leave it at that for this video. Thank you.